I'm Eric. I'm making a game. It's called the Godkiller. And if I've got just normal luck, in about 6 days I'll be able to get my alpha out to my little group of play testers. Yeah, I'm working on that. Let me give a quick demo. That's how I start these things. I do a demo at the beginning. Last night, this had nothing to do with the demo. It was just me being a little bit self-indulgent, playing with the thing that was most interesting to me. But I added into this starting scene a little bit of flair. I wanted this... Okay. I wanted this intro level to also double as introducing the game with a title, because I don't want a splash screen that says... I don't want a whole bunch of splash screens at the beginning. I want you to be playing right away. Also because I needed to repeatedly start this again and again. I made it so that the first set of commands that you do to open the portal are automated, at least in this sort of debug mode I'm in. Okay, so you'll see the addition as I open the portal. All right, so I just added the Godkiller title. So yeah, the more important stuff I did yesterday isn't maybe that interesting to demo because it's just the game again, but I got it to work as a player. I guess I can demo it. It won't take me long. Let's see, GK Alpha builds Mac. Okay, let's try this guy. So this is the game running as a standalone player, which for my alpha is going to be necessary because I don't want to give out all the project files. It's just annoying to have to load in all of those and install Unity in order to play. There is a nice thing about this that it's now properly full screen, no chrome around the edges or anything like that. I had to fix a bug that only shows up in the player where these boxes with letters on them don't keep the letters that are assigned to them. Didn't like that. I did not like that there was a bug that was only present in the player, because bugs that are in the player are going to be harder to troubleshoot than bugs that are visible within the editor. But yeah, these blocks all said they were blank, or at one point they had the letter X on it as a default coming from the prefab, and but I fixed it. And then there was like all kinds of compilation bugs that I had to fix, where I had code that I designated as it was only going to be there in the editor. And I wanted it to compile out when the player was made, so it's a smaller game executable. And that editor-only code was sometimes referenced by player code. So I had to untangle that a bit. What else? Bundles, I had to kind of figure out how to build bundles. I built a Windows executable. This morning I tried it out. At least it executes. It does show the starting screen, but there is some problem with it, and I get at least one of the reasons why it wouldn't work. I think I need to move some of my files that are stored in certain locations on this computer into bundles, or something that the player can access. So I'm going to try just installing the same GK app player on a different Mac computer, I expect it'll fail. I think it's going to try to reference files that aren't on the original development computer that I tried to run from. So yeah, I don't know if this will be the most interesting of development sessions, but this is what I got to do in order to make the alpha demo be available to anyone besides me. So it's pretty important. And I've got a list of other stuff I got to do this week. I think I got enough time to do it all. But here's the list. Make a working player build, done. Troubleshoot problems with working on Mac or Windows. That's what I'm doing today, right on schedule. Make it so it saves the player's position in the level and restores it. I don't know if I'll make a mid-level restore. I'm kind of interested in not making a mid-level restore for the whole game. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Seems like a dick move. You just say, okay, if you want to come back, you're going to start from the beginning of the level that you're on. I've got a few reasons I'm mulling over in my head. They're maybe not good reasons. So one is, it shouldn't be that big a deal to begin any level and play through it. The levels are designed that in such a way that if you make a mistake, it's never that hard to get back to where you were at. So intentionally, I'm not going to make something where, okay, you got to move this and it's hard, and you got to move this and do this and this and this, and all those things are hard, and then you finally get to some place and you exit, and then if you had to redo it again, it would take you the same lengthy amount of time to get to that point. I'm trying to design things so that once you know the solution, it's never going to take you more than maybe 5 minutes to get through a level. But learning the solution might be very difficult. Okay, number 2 reason. It's kind of an incentive for people to push on and finish a level. So there's like that sort of addictive quality to it where you say, well, I'm midway through this level, I've made some progress. If I exit now, I'll have to redo that starting progress that I made. So there's a little bit of a incentive for you to just like keep on going and push on. Okay, 3rd reason. It's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass for me to make a mid-level restore. I do have some command playback stuff that could assist in it. I don't know. I don't think I'm painting myself into a corner, though. Like, I do have an option if I want to do a restore to play back the commands in a headless way. Not entirely headless, though, I should say, because the manipulations that are made in the transforms do have to be preserved. So it would be like the level loads, I have a black screen up in front of it, maybe a progress indicator. And then all of the effects that are used to update the scene there's this logical component that's separated out from the scene, the UI component, or the UI system, I guess. I don't want to overuse the word component. All the effects, which are the means by which the logical changes are used to update the scene, could run in a quick mode, where they just do whatever creates the final result for the scene, as opposed to all the different effects that you might play. That wouldn't be that hard. That might be like 3 days of work. I probably will. Now that I say it out loud, I probably will do it. But I'm toying with the idea of just having restore always start from the beginning of a level, and just have the levels not be so amazingly hard to complete in one session. Okay. Load next level based on level manifest instead of the project settings order. So inside of Unity, there is this little list of scenes that you include. And right now, whenever you exit the level, it will jump to the next one in this sequence. But like, this is really a horrible way to put together an order. You need something a little more flexible than that, because it doesn't allow reordering. It's very... So anyways, I have something else, a level manifest, which is just another list of levels, and I want to load the next level based on the contents of that instead of the Unity scene inclusion order. Okay, settings screen. I need a basic settings screen that lets you do things like... Do I really need a settings screen? I was going to say do things like adjust the sound effects volume. You've got a volume control on your computer already. I might be able to get by without it. Secure way to get build updates to play testers. I've been playing around with that a little bit today. Still thinking about if I want to try to use Steam for this. I think I do want to end up just releasing on Steam. So if I'm going to end up releasing on Steam at some point, maybe I should just use their tools for managing, private releases. Maybe that's a good way to do it. But anyways, I put this down as like taking a tenth of a day. I don't think that's quite right. It kind of depends if I do it a deluxe way or kind of a simple way. The deluxe way would be setting up something like Steam, but then I have to also write some scripts that do things like upload builds off to Steam, stuff like that. Since I have to do it again and again, I don't want it to be anything slow or manual. I gave myself a day just for handling stuff that comes up that I can't know at this time. Some kind of like debug log, like if your system crashes, what I should do is just use the player log. Actually, there's already a player log, so maybe I'll spend a little bit of time just adding a few more messages that go into the player log. For example, I can put in like a general purpose exception handler, so whenever an exception occurs, it'll not only output the exception, it'll also output the name of the level you're on, and all your commands issued so far. So I might be able to take that as a report from a playtester and recreate the situation. And then I want to get all this stuff done as quickly as I can, because the more time, or the less time that I spend on this stuff, the more time I have making some demo levels to put out to the playtesters. And I want them to have a good time playing these levels, so I want to make something fun for them, All right, so that's what I'm up to today. Basically on this first task, But more specifically, I'm going to set about figuring out how to get the data that's currently off in one specific location on my computer into the application bundles, so that they will be distributed. So I've got these pre-processing files. So if I go to here and I say pre-process the level, it does some analysis of the level and it saves a file. It saves that file to a location on this computer. Let's see, where is it at? Saves it here. So every single level has got a file with the same name that includes information about that level that's loaded in when the level loads. But if I just rename this to something else, okay, and I come back to there's a doorbell ring. I'm gonna go check it out real quick. All right. Boom. Oh, done. Okay, so it was just somebody dropping off a package. Here, let me, Phone. What's going on, man? Okay, so I just renamed the data directory. My theory is that the app will not execute. Or it will execute, but it won't successfully start up because it'll be missing the reference. So if I go Documents, Godkiller, GK, GK Alpha, Builds, Mac. I'm hoping it fails, because that would show the problem that I'm expecting. It didn't fail? No, it did fail. So it loaded the scene, but there was some error, and the error put it into what I call a logic hang, meaning Okay, it's successfully loaded, it's executed, it's not crashing, but there's no way to do anything in the game because there was some exception that disrupted the logic of the game. And I know what that exception was. I know what it is. And this might be where Razophone gets to gloat, because I've got a problem to solve that I don't think I would have to solve if I was using the scriptable components. The problem is that I've got files that I put in persistent storage to use for game settings or read-only settings or configuration, and they're not available in the player build. I assume that if I'd use scriptable components that they would be available, that they would just build in with the player. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I mean, I'm looking at this. I'd be more surprised if it did work than if it didn't. So I don't know why I'm hunting so hard for the error, but let's take a look, see if I can find it. Right, some different ones there. Yeah, no, it's right at the top. I just decided to skip past it for some dumb reason. Okay, so it's clearly expecting. Well, I was renaming the folder to test. Okay, just to verify that it does not include those files. I would be very surprised if it did. I'll put them back, but that makes it so that that would only fix the problem on this local computer. I do want to remember to put that back though, so let's go ahead and do that. Go to folder. So these files that I wrote to persistent storage, they're not included in the player build. And it makes sense that they wouldn't be. But I do have to modify my build process in some way so that these files can be loaded from a bundle or included in a bundle. So let me make a little plan or pocket design. Take a look at my other files, see what else I might have. Lips, WAVs. Now I have to solve the waves. So it seems like maybe I could do that, but they're often a directory that wouldn't allow me to mark them as addressable right away. Because like they're not under the assets directory at all. they're in the location where Unity allows you to write files. So probably, and this is what I'm kind of working out, some kind of solution like a script that runs, that copies over the files to the assets directory and makes them addressable in some way. But I do want to retain my ability to write these files inside the editor. So let's see some different solutions. Well, okay. It's not written to at playtime. It's written to at edit time. So inside of Unity, I've got, the editor only code, preprocess level. Okay, so it does some calculations and stuff, and then it writes that to a file in persistent storage. It is deserialized at playtime though. Well, I mean, I've already got a bunch of code that serializes and deserializes. If I put them in scriptable objects, I could do that, but it would be, I think, a fair amount of work, because I'd have to convert the code that reads and writes these data structures to put them inside of properties inside of scriptable objects. I need an option for the files to be loadable if somebody misses them. No, I mean, because they should be loadable all the time. I don't know. I don't understand the option part. Just put down for number 2 is convert to scriptable objects. Done programmatically. Sorry, hold on, I got a little bit of sensitive information. I want to clear off my screen. There we go. Okay. So there are preprocessor files. They're created currently in the editor. Well, okay. So the preprocessor files are created in the editor. They're saved to the persistent storage directory, which is outside of the asset path. I want the built player to include those files in some form. I mean, that's basically it. Maybe I should try to just write them to the resource folder. Maybe that's a good option. Let's put that down. Number 3. Write to resource folder instead of persistent storage folder. Yeah, I mean, that sounds good if it works. Let me see. Actually, that's probably the easiest solution. If I can just write... Okay. So if I write them to the resource folder, do they have to be marked as addressable? Streaming assets. I'll just say write to another folder. Let me read about that. Okay. That sounds promising. Right now, it sounds like the best of the 3 options. Unity streaming assets folder. Okay. Makes me a little weary, but yeah. It still sounds like the best option so far. Let me take a look at the resource. Yeah, I want to be cross-platform. I'm like forgetting where all my stuff is. Let's see. There's board loader. Okay, so I'll use this. Yeah, and so I guess this code I've got here already is going to be not cross-platform, so that's another reason to change it. So I could do something like on my Mac, my development machine, I could write to that resources or streaming assets or streaming whatever it was using the file. And then I could do a load, and then if it's not present at this location, I could, no. So one trouble with using the www is like I have to change these all to non-blocking. So load was pretty good for just call it, it returns back the data. It's not a lot to load. I go through the www, I have to asynchronously load it and set callback. So every place where I've got some loading happening, I have to change that to be non-blocking. I think that's true for my other solutions as well, though. Suppose that's not the end of the world. Who knows, it might even like stop my load stuttering or the frame rate dropping while it loads that file or something nice like that. All right. So if I did the first one, I still don't know if I can mark it as addressable programmatically. Let me check that. Is that what? Thought maybe I don't have to use streaming assets You know, I'm only supporting Windows and Mac to start. Maybe I could get away with just reading it from the asset path. And when I get around maybe like 2 years from now trying to do consoles or something, then I can revisit. So if number 4 works, that's the easiest one. Okay. So let me see. Resources versus streaming assets. What's the difference? I don't think it would matter too much. Oh, wait. Alright, so this is the thing where I'd have to put like dot text on the end of it in order to read it in. Yeah, since my files are binary, it's not going to matter. Yeah, so streaming assets, that seems to be the right one for me. I agree. So that's... So this one I can try pretty quick. Number 4. Okay, so then to try this one, I need to go down to my assets directory. Do I already have this? I do. Okay. And go over here. Yeah, let me do a git commit before I... Oops, that's a bad place to be. Okay. Okay, I'll move this over to streaming assets. Okay. Put one more layer of abstraction to this whole thing. Let's see if that still works playing it in the editor. First, I'll just try pre-processing. Okay. Hit play. Seems to be working fine. Okay, looks like a few things didn't work. What did not work? Oh, some of the songs don't have all the meta files added to them. Okay, what's this? Load asset sync. That was because I tried to play that song that didn't have all the meta files. Yeah! I keep playing with it. Okay. So, let me see. Can I build? So then do okay, let's build. Ah, it's a building resources folder. Although, that's not the actual folder, never mind. Streaming assets folder is the one I'm hoping for. Let's see. So this is not a great test because it's still in that same file system, but I'll just run that real quick to see if it works. Okay, that much is good. Let me now try to put it on a different computer. Just making sure this is the right place. Okay, it is. Alright, switch over to the other computer. Let's see what it does. Is it broke? It's fine. It's just running extremely slow because it's also on the broadcasting computer, which is doing video compression and all that. Okay, so that works. Oh, Razaphone, you saved me. I think 3 hours of work there. That's my estimate. How much time you saved? Hold on, got to. Oh, I really need to get that to force quit or something. Like I don't even have a mouse pointer. Oh, I do have a mouse pointer. It's just so friggin' slow. Okay. Come on. Come on. Yeah, this is terrible. Hold on a sec. Wow, this just brings the whole computer to a crawl while it's running. Exit, come on. Come on, quit. Quit. Ah, there we go. All right. Whew. Okay. I'm guessing my audio and video got really choppy for a bit. I'm not sure. But yeah, so when I run that Unity player on the same system that is also running the OBS, it slows everything down horrifically. But it worked. It worked. And that was a cheap and easy solution. And not a bad one. Like, I'm punting on being compatible with other platforms, but I don't think it's not anything I'm going to be doing on this year, probably next. Mac and Windows is fine for the time being. I can later on worry about your Xboxes and PlayStations and so on. Okay, so number 4 is what I did. Now I'm thinking about how to spend the rest of this session. I'm probably going to split it into an off-stream working session because I have a lot of things to do that require typing in passwords inside of network access. I need to have a fast way to shuttle my files between my Mac and Windows machine instead of copying them onto a cartridge or something like that. So I may today try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and handle this secure way to build updates to playtest. Like, since I already need like a quick way to get files over onto the Windows machine, I might try to also at the same time set up my hosting solution for moving files there. In order for that to be quick though, how big are these files? I'm just curious. Builds, Mac. That's not that big. Good. Yeah, 180 megs. Okay, so I could potentially just send it via FTP. That's probably only going to take like a minute or two tops, even with slow upload speeds and stuff. Okay, I know one thing I really want to do though, and I'll do it in this session. Let me just say builds. Yeah, just a fully compiled app with a new version of a compiled app. So I can see myself putting out 1 or 2 builds a week, and the playtesters need to get access to them. That might be a good way to go. You're right. First, I was thinking Git, and the problem with that would have been that all my playtesters would have to have a Git client set up, and that's a lot of overhead. When you say Google Disk, you mean like Google Drive? I also have my cspacelabs.com site with all of its stuff on it. It has like FTP. So I could upload the file to a certain location, and it would just be a URL that's a little bit obscure, perhaps. Yeah. So if I do Google Drive, I'm assuming that I can mount Google Drive on my local file system in such a way that some kind of script file will just copy it over to it. Okay, I want to be able to exit the app without Alt-Tab, etc. So I'll just, I'm going to close it. Okay, that's it. All right. That's a meta command though. Let's make a note. Yeah, for now, I think I've only got a few. It's not really worth. Hold on. I'm just trying to hook in just enough logic so that I can exit out of the player. Some weirdness there. I had this working before. This is the thing where I should look at my old code and see what was happening there. But you know what? Just for the moment, let's come back to that. Let's just say application quit. Because that's the main thing I really wanted to accomplish. Boom. Doesn't work. Assuming it did call this code. Maybe I got the wrong code. Oh, it's ignored in the editor. I wouldn't mind stopping the editor from playing. Can I do that? Yeah. 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 Well, let's make sure it works. It's a long delay in the audio. That's because of the broadcasting setup. Alright, so let's refactor this bit of code. You don't know what people say on something. I missed what you're referring to. But let's see. Well, what's hard about reading a thermometer, though, right? I mean, it's. I don't know. Maybe it is hard. Maybe I'm missing something. Actually, no, I do remember. It is kind of hard. Because, like, if you don't look at it dead on, you'll get the wrong reading. Like, if you look at it at an angle, the mercury in it will be in a different place. How much precision do you want, Jet Boy? I would round to the nearest. Okay, well then you could try to be more impressive to whoever's grading your paper and put 5.75. Then they'll think you're real serious. They're like, this guy really wants to get the right measurement. That's what I would do if I was writing for paper. Unless your teacher said, no, just do the nearest whole number. Oh, I get your as a fun. I think I sneezed and then you responded to that. I didn't notice I sneezed. Alright, so that fixes that. It's probably okay either way. But if you really want to mess with them, you put 5.75231579. Okay? Then that'd be your first answer. Then you cross it out, and then you put no, 5.7529132411. And then, when they're grading it, they'll be, what? What kind of precision is this guy getting with his equipment? All right. So let me go back to the. This is fine. Although I'll test it with the player. Make sure it exits with the player. Oh, whoops. Do you not like chemistry? The thing is, man, you go to these classes and because there's something you have to do, like whatever's cool about the class that might be like awesome knowledge to put in your head, like you won't feel it because it's just like on your list of things you have to do. But man, chemistry is like, yeah, it's really I don't know, I liked it. They got like, group things you don't like. Yeah. So yeah, maybe the COVID lockdown is sort of good for you then, because then you have less in real life stuff to do. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so then it's gonna be what? Did it build? It built. Oh, that's right. Okay, because when it builds for the player, it's going to do the other conditional compilation, so you want it using. Blondington, what's going on? Let's see, what is the thing that's needed for, is it Unity Engine application? Is that it? I think it is. Yeah. Doing good. Razophone just saved me this morning like 3 hours of work, because I wrote out like all these complicated ways I was going to solve this problem, and he says, why don't you just do it this way? And I tried it that way and it worked. It's awesome. So now I can move on to the next hard problem. Okay. You working on your snake game? Let's see if this now allows me to exit. That sounds cool. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna figure out something here. Code snippet sharing tool. GitHub. Let me see GitHub. Paste bin. This might be a good one. Okay. So maybe this is a decent way in the future, like if you want to send me some code. I think, let me just do a test. So if I put this in here, yeah. So if you ever want to have me look at some code for a little bit, I'll set my own boundaries as far as how much time I want to spend on it. But if you ever want to send me a little bit of code to look at, you can use this paste bin, and then you can send a URL to me, and then I can look at the same code, and it's pretty easy. You just send the URL, and then you can load it in like that. All right. Let me try to do a little more in this session before I run away and do all the password stuff. Let me think. What else can I do? Oh, I still get this level loader thing working as it should. Better idea. Better idea. Let's do this. So my thinking is, if I just have all my exception handling, put a little bit of extra info in it, have some kind of high level exception handlers, and then they put in like the current scene and the player commands in the level. Okay. So let me think. The info I want to put on each thing. Let's do it at top of it. Be log header. Okay, log header. Log build number. Log session start. So I'll remove the editor stuff from that. Then we'll say other places at top level. Yep, Razophone. You were talking about that yesterday. You did make me think about it a little bit. I'm also thinking of not just me, like I was yesterday. I'm thinking of the playtesters and how I want some data coming back in. Jet Boy, yeah, I'm thinking about what you said. That's true. I think you're right. A lot of people are kind of shitty and they do say things because they want a reaction. But here's another way to look at it, though, is say your friend, she doesn't want to post pictures. The question is, does she really want to post pictures or not? Like, suppose that it wasn't just that there's some girls at school that are going to be mean to her if she posts the pictures. There might not be much value in her mind to posting the pictures. So if she really wants to, but she's being held back by other people's attitudes, and then that's a sad thing, and maybe she should get past it. I don't know. But I'll tell you something. I got sick and tired of Facebook. I got so tired of it. And you think like everyone gets more mature when they get older. They just play different stupid games. So if somebody says, I don't want to have anything to do with it, hey, I'm in their camp. Friggin' stupid game. Putting little meme posts up on there and getting people to like it, or yelling at people about political points of view. I just don't get much enjoyment out of going onto Facebook. I get more enjoyment out of this particular form of social networking, I suppose, because a smaller group of people, and tends to be the people that join are doing things that are interesting in their own lives, and they want to talk about like their own projects and stuff. And that's my particular group of people I like hanging out with, is people that are trying to do things, posting pictures of your food and your vacations, and little memes and things like that. And I don't know, I'm just tired of it. Maybe she's tired of other things too, So field logger. I think this is basically right. I think I can go forward with it. But I do like what you said, though, about, you know, the definitions of beauty, and I think you're right about that. It's a sad thing when people don't feel comfortable about how they look. Let's see. Thank you, sir. wonder if there's a built-in build number. Okay, there is a version. Okay. think I can just use that. Build info build number. Oh. Actually, this looks pretty good. Alright, so if I want something like an auto-incrementing build number or version. That will only be, this will only be available inside of Unity Editor though. Although, yeah. So it's not player settings because that one will only be there for editor. Well, so okay. Well, I guess one thing at a time. Suppose I use the bundle version. Well, player settings comes from Unity Editor, so that won't be available inside of the player. And I want. Let's take a look at the application class. Yeah. Maybe just version. So will that be the version of? It's not a terrible thing if I have to increment it on my own once a week. Okay. So that's not too bad. I mean, I could later on fiddle with auto-incrementing it. It seems like it's something you can do programmatically within the editor anyways. Let's see, somebody else wrote something on how to do that. Okay, makes sense. Is this bundle version the same thing as the application version? Actually, there's only one place where I need that. Let's just use log info for that. Maybe I want some environmental stuff in here. What is it? Yeah, I don't think I want anything else. Maybe available memory. Nah. Okay. So then to get the player commands. Yeah, let's just bring this over. This looks good. Thanks, Rosaphone. Take a look at it, see what looks smart. Yeah, this is great. This is gold. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, I took that out. Yeah. In fact, I'll just take all my stuff out. I like yours better. Battery I probably don't care about. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. This is good stuff. What's that complaining about? Huh. Okay. Okay, so the player commands. Okay. Stupid. Bad name. I'm using that in more than one way. Let's just say exception. Diagnostic objects. So then I go to command recorder. Oops. That's pretty clean. It's better than what I had before. Okay, what are you complaining about? What do you want to do about it? Okay. Maybe I don't have to do it that way. Okay, let's do that. Okay, that's pretty good. And I'll go to Booter and have it automatically log some of this stuff. got a callback for the scene changing. Where's that at? That's the code I know works. Where is that? Or maybe I don't. Maybe I've only got the on-scene unload. Okay, so I can put it in the main object. That'll probably be good enough. Okay, that's what I need. Yank that out. Man, that's how I'm living my life with no regrets. If I don't get it done, I'll know it was some really good reason why not. But yeah. The thing I'm really looking forward to is getting it released, and I'll tell you, all the things I've gotten done in the past, they keep coming back to make me feel good. They keep coming back. Things I did 2 decades ago, they're still paying small rewards to me. I don't mean money, but nice comments that people made about things. Like they spent a lot of time playing my games and stuff, and I thought about it, and it's like, this is the best use of my time. If I just get things that express who I am done and out in the world, it'll make me happy. So that's why I do it. So log the exception. No context for that. Okay. Just do the top level ones. Thankfully, I've got, instead of a million update functions off in all kinds of different mono behaviors, I can just have one single update that calls all the other updates on things. I've got a few exceptions to that. For the most part, it's true. So if I just get this all under a try catch, that's pretty good. Let's try building that. Okay. Then run this baby in the editor. There's all that great information here. Yeah, nice. Well, I won't even give advice on this. I only say what works for me. But okay, I explained my motivation. That's one thing. So then, presumably, you have some motivation too. It's based on something rational. So then there's like the mechanics of it. This is what works for me. The holy algorithm, which is very sanctimonious how I put it, but that's just a joke. So the key things are I avoid defining a goal as doing work. It has to be some kind of progress. So something has to get done. Like it's not even enough to work really hard on something. I have to say there's something that will get done. There's reasons for that. One is if it's just doing work, I can fool myself into thinking I'm doing a lot of stuff and I'm not actually. The other one is that you get a dopamine payoff if you finish something. Like if you just have something you say, okay, if I get this particular thing done, I make that progress, and you finish it. At least I keep saying you. I'll say me. For me, I get a dopamine hit. A little thing in my head that waves a little flag and says, yeah, you did it. That feels good, and I get kind of addicted to that, right? So that's why everything is structured with these backlogs, which are small tasks I can get done. And they're always set up so that I have to get one done in a session. Smaller the better. On my team at work, I'm an engineering manager by trade. I do a similar thing. And I say all the tickets that they work on, all the Jira tickets, you probably have a ticket management system too. They have to be less than a day in size. So everybody is like working on stuff, and they're like the same tasks they take for themselves to get done, they finish it that day. It's easier to manage, but also it like feels better, you know, than if you just say, I'm going to work every day really hard on this save game system, and then when I'm done, I'm done. That doesn't feel as good as if you break it up in little tasks. So that's the thing that makes me work better. And then if there's a day when I just feel terrible, when I just don't feel like doing any work, I still make progress, but it'll be like token progress. I'll find something really small, and I'll do that small thing, and I'll still feel good about myself that I got it done. But then I'll go play video games or get drunk or something, and it's, you know, I still feel like the machinery is intact if I do it that way. And then you can see a little number at the top of the screen, 155. That's the number of days in a row where I've made some progress. And you know, it hasn't been even one day in between there where I just didn't make any progress. I did something on all those days. So I feel good if I made some progress every day, even if it's shitty progress. So it's just a big game with my own psychology. Let's see. So, okay. So then going back to this worked like a champ. This snippet you contributed was really good. Yeah, this is great. Graphics memory size, max texture size, that's real nice. Okay, so then we got log session start there. Okay, anything else? Let me see if I can get some kind of exception. I want to see if it outputs other stuff too. I think I know how to do it if I just load one of these songs. It doesn't have all the meta info. Although that might be on a different thread. Let's see. So I'll go. There we go. Yeah, that's what I did training with all the engineers on my team. And it was just, everybody has got the power, if they got a ticket assigned to them that's too big, to break it up. So they're all like less than a day or less. And it also helps with when you have a team with other people and you have merge requests or PRs, MRs, and you're doing code reviews in everybody's merge requests. If they're small, they get through that peer review a lot faster too. If you're a project manager and you're looking in on that project and you see one developer, Razaphone, he's got a giant 5-day ticket, then you gotta talk to Razophone more often. Yeah, so they'll do a feature branch. Well, it'll start off as a local branch on their machine for each ticket. Sometimes if a ticket is a little bit big, they might even do 2 or 3 branches and merge requests for each. Okay, so this is good, but I didn't see. Okay, that's probably because this is an asynchronous callback. All right, let me force an exception. So let's say let's see how this goes. There it is. Cool. So it logged the exception and also logged all the commands at the beginning. So then if I have this in the player file, and I'll test that in a second, then I can look through this and I can see, okay, here's info about the system. Here's what level they were on. Here's the exception. Here's all the commands that they issued prior to the exception. It's pretty good. Let's build it, try it out there. Oh. Yeah, well, okay. So let me, whatever decision you make here, there's usually like trade-offs, right? And you want to pick the thing that's right for the team and the organization you're in. So I'm reading through what you said here. So if you create a bunch of branches, it's kind of annoying. There's the overhead to doing that. I get that. But let me ask you this. Because the point of a branch for me would be using merge requests or PRs, MRs or PRs, depending on what you want to call them. Do you use merge requests with your team? Do you do like code reviews on them? Okay, command player. Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, well, see, there you go. If you're the only developer in the team, then there's just no point in even doing merge requests. I mean, maybe you could make an argument, but it's easier to just say, like, if you told me I'm the lone developer on this team, and our company doesn't really need to have code reviews or be impractical to, then I'd say, just don't worry about merge requests, do commits direct to master. Don't worry about making branches unless you've got some special release needs around them. So with that, I would say that's smart. No reason to make a bunch of branches. So the reason why, there's more than one reason, but the two big reasons to make branches are because they're part of your branching strategy for releases, or for merge requests. For merge requests, like the software in GitLab or GitHub or Jenkins, it requires you to have a branch that merges into another one to show what the change is going to be for peer review. And they've got built-in peer review, code review tools. So if you don't have a need to do those code reviews and use the built-in tools to do them, then sure, I would say what you're doing makes perfect sense as far as branch management. And I mean, even I'm a lone developer on this project. I use Git. I don't mess around with branches. I just go into master each time. If I get some more people on it and we're all merging into GitHub, then I might switch to a more branch driven style. I could see that argument, but here's where it helps. Okay, suppose you have a code base that's been around for a year or so, and it's had maybe 10 developers on it, and you see a change in some code. Like I'm looking at inside of this code here, and I see that somebody changed this to an array, and it was a list before. And I want to know, why did they change it? And that developer's gone. Well, if that commit is part of a branch that is named after a JIRA ticket or a ticket, I can go to the ticket and I can see, oh, there was a bug they were trying to fix. We were running out of memory when this command ran multiple times, and they fixed that bug. So I can see the context. So when you have to maintain history and make sense of what a whole bunch of people did over a long period of time, having branches can make some more sense. I suppose also that could also be in the commit comments too. I just made a big long explanation for something. I realized you could just put the ticket number in the commit message as well. Yeah. You know what? I'm not going to say that I'm absolutely certain one branch per developer is better or worse. I think it's just a convention we've used. Maybe the one argument I could make is that if you're constantly making a new branch, it'll remind you to check it out from master. So when you create your new branch, if you're on master and you create a branch off of it, then you'll get all of the versioned files from that master branch, as opposed to maybe you forgot to merge in master to your developer branch. So there's a simplicity to starting over with a new branch on each little bit of work. I mean, it doesn't take that long, right? You just say git branch, name of your ticket, and then you're basically good. So I don't know. Okay, so this, I want to get rid of this compile out. And let me check for all the references to it, because I don't want anything to be compiled out. Alright, that seems fine. Cool. Yeah, but I don't know. I think Look, it's good to not have a whole bunch of tasks going on at the same time. It's good to just finish them off, mostly one by one. But I don't know. Yeah, everybody's brain works different. But part of that can be, though, like if you get some tickets assigned and somebody else broke them down in some way that's not very natural, then you have to jump all over the place. So that's why when we make tickets for our team, we say there'll be one ticket which is like the feature ticket. That could also be a document, honestly, that describes like what's supposed to happen. And then the individual engineer that's working on it, or maybe multiples, they break it out into tickets that match the actual work they have to do. You know, like if you have to write a back-end service and you have to write the client code that calls the back-end service and you have to write the UI that displays the same info, then they would break it out like that. But the person who's describing the feature would say at a high level how the feature's supposed to work. So I don't know. I would think, like, if you're in charge of dividing up the tasks in a way that makes sense to you, you probably ought to be able to mostly do one task at a time. Maybe 2 or 3 every once in a while. And I'll force the exception. Okay. Close it. Now let's go see if I can find the player log. I always forget where these things are kept. That's not it. No, I got it already here. Okay. Alright, so there's all the developer information. It compiled out my cheat key to force the exception. So that's fine. It didn't do the logging all the commands, because there wasn't a real exception. Load the scene. Okay, looks good. I can see there's some value to putting these all together instead of doing multiple log infos, because each one's going to have this little file name thing after it. Kind of wonder, maybe if I do console log, it won't do this extra line here. Fidgeting with it now. It doesn't matter that much. I gave myself a little instruction here. I said, because I knew I'd start fidgeting with this. I said no gold plating, meaning adding little extra bits that I don't really need. So that's good. That'll work. That'll suffice. Okay. So I'm going to keep working, but I'm going to do it off stream because I got a bunch of like password management and server connection type stuff to do. And I don't want that going out to the public. But Razafon, thanks for the help, man. I think you like qualify for pair programmer on this session because I think you chopped off maybe 3.5 to 4 hours. I owe you a bit there. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna stop the stream here. I don't know who else might be lurking, but thanks for joining. Stopping the stream! Stopping the stream! Stop!